Welcome to our cozy corner of storytelling. Today, you're in for a delightful journey as we explore the adventures of Paddington Bear. Sit back, relax, and let the soothing words wash over you. This is a wonderful way to unwind while practicing your English. So grab a cup of tea or coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive into a charming tale that will bring a smile to your face. Paddington Bear by Michael Bond. Once upon a time, in the busy city of London, there was a small bear named Paddington. He was found at Paddington Station, all alone, with a little sign around his neck that said, "Please look after this bear." Thank you. Paddington had come all the way from Peru, a faraway country where he lived with his Aunt Lucy. She had raised him, but now she was too old to take care of him. So she sent him to London to find a new home. Paddington sat on his suitcase, holding his old hat in his paws. He looked very sad and a bit scared. Many people walked past him without noticing the little bear. But then a kind family named the Browns saw him. Mr. and Mrs. Brown were a kind couple. They stopped and looked at Paddington. "Hello, little bear," said Mr. Brown. "How did you get here?" "I came all the way from Peru," answered Paddington. "My Aunt Lucy wanted me to live in London." Mrs. Brown felt sorry for the little bear. "We can't leave him here all alone," she said to her husband. "Let's take him home with us." Mr. Brown agreed, and they decided to name the little bear Paddington, after the station where they found him. Paddington was so happy. He had found a new home. At the Browns' house, everything was new for Paddington. He met the children, Judy and Jonathan. They quickly became friends. Paddington told them about his life in Peru, how he loved marmalade, and about the adventures he had. Judy and Jonathan listened to him with great interest. Paddington was excited to share his stories and learn about life in London. Life in London was very different from life in Peru. On his first day in his new home, Paddington got into trouble. He wanted to take a bath, but he didn't know how to do it properly. He filled the bath with water and poured lots of soap into it. Soon, there was so much water and foam that it flooded the whole bathroom. Mrs. Brown heard the noise and ran to see what was happening. "Oh, Paddington, what have you done?" she cried. But she couldn't stay mad at him. He looked so funny and confused with soap all over him. After that, Paddington understood that he had a lot to learn. He tried to be careful and help the Browns. One day, he wanted to bake a cake for Mr. Brown's birthday. Paddington took flour, sugar, and eggs, but instead of following the recipe, he mixed everything together and put it in the oven. When Mr. Brown opened the oven, the cake exploded. Flour and dough were everywhere. The Browns laughed, and Paddington felt a little embarrassed, but they appreciated his effort. Despite his mistakes, the Browns loved Paddington. They knew he was trying his best, and he was a very kind bear. Paddington also loved his new family. He felt happy in his new home, and knew he could always count on the Browns. Every day was a new adventure for Paddington. He rode the bus, went shopping, and even appeared on television once. Wherever he went, Paddington was always polite and friendly. He always carried a jar of marmalade with him in case he got hungry. The people of London grew to love this little bear, and even strangers on the street would smile at him. Paddington learned many new things: how to cross the street safely, how to use an umbrella so he wouldn't get wet, and even how to behave in a museum. Even though he didn't always get everything right, people knew that he was doing his best. One day, Paddington decided to go on an adventure by himself. He wanted to visit the park. He took a bus and sat quietly, looking at all the sights. When he arrived, he was amazed by the green grass and beautiful flowers. He played with some children and shared his marmalade sandwiches. Everyone loved Paddington. However, while playing, he lost his hat. Paddington searched everywhere, but he couldn't find it. He felt sad without his hat. Just then, a little girl came over and asked, "Are you Paddington Bear?" "Yes, I am," he replied, feeling shy. "I saw your hat. It's over there." She pointed. Paddington followed her finger and found his hat stuck in a tree. With the girl's help, he climbed the tree carefully and got his hat back. He thanked the girl with a big smile and offered her a sandwich. Soon, Paddington became an important part of the Brown family. They knew they could always count on him, and he could count on them. They laughed together, they were sad together, and they spent a lot of time together. Paddington understood that a home is not just a place, but also the people who love you. And even though he came from faraway Peru, he found his place in London with his new family and friends. Days, weeks, and months passed, filled with laughter and joy. Paddington knew that many wonderful adventures were waiting for him, and he was excited for each new day. His heart was full of happiness, and he felt grateful for his new life in London. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you enjoyed the story and found it helpful for your English learning. Remember, taking a moment to relax and listen can make a big difference. Until next time, take care and keep smiling.